I met such wonderful, down-to-earth people that were just similar to me, like deep thinking people that also like to have fun and be silly. And it's the best life. Everything goes. There's no right and no wrong. I'm 22. I haven't been to school yet. No one's judging me for that, you know? Like, I'm on my own path and everyone's on their own path here. So I feel like this is where I'm meant to be.
What's going on, Schmoozers? Hope everyone is having an amazing week. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hear me schmooze with some proud Jews and talk about their personal brands. On this week's episode, you're going to hear from one of the up-and-coming Jewish influencers on social media. Originally from the United States, this individual decided to make Aliyah and fulfill her dreams of living in Israel. Unlike most people who make Aliyah, she decided to take her story to social media and share her experience living abroad. Through her TikTok account, American in Israel, she has built up a following of over 37,000 by providing some of the most balagan Israeli life content. Please welcome to this week's episode, Sophie Harris. Sophie, how are we doing today?
What an introduction. Thank you. You really hyped me up there.
I had to. That's my goal. I'm a hype man for all my guests.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm great. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How was your trip abroad? You were in where? Spain?
I was in
You're in Europe?
Spain, London, and then Dublin, and now I'm back here. Yeah, it was a bit rowdy. I'm glad to be back. I needed to relax, but it was incredible. Yeah.
Okay, good. How's D-Hodes doing?
She is the craziest bitch I've ever met. Like, when I tell you, I've never met someone like more feral than me until that woman stepped into my life. So yeah, it was really fun. It was so
Sounds about
crazy. But it was a much needed reunion, Yeah.
I'm sure. D-Hodes is our like mutual friend, and like I saw that like Sophie was doing all these really cool stuff on Instagram and TikTok, and I was like, D-Hodes, you gotta connect me with her. And you know, this is how we Jewish schmooze, we connect each other, you know how it
Jewish
be.
geography.
Yes, exactly. So speaking of Jewish geography, we're going to get right into your Jewish geography profile. I'm just going to ask you some questions about yourself. We're not going to make it rapid fire because like that hasn't worked out in the past. Like I've tried to do it like a rapid fire thing, and you know, but that hasn't worked.
I'll do my best.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
Awesome. All right, Sophie, what is your hometown in America?
San Diego, California.
Oh, I love that. Where'd you go to high school?
I was a troubled youth. I went to like 4.5 high schools.
4.5?
I got sent. Wait. You know, like how Paris Hilton got sent to like that whole therapeutic boarding school rehab situation. I didn't like go to rehab. I'm not like that level. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like so oversharing. Anyway, I got sent to therapeutic boarding school. I went to like private school for a year. I just did a lot. I did a lot. Somehow graduated and ended up here. But yeah, it's a complicated, it's a loaded question.
That's all good. And where's your hometown in Israel?
Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv. What part of Tel Aviv are you in?
I'm in like right next to the Shuk. So like best location, best food, best deals.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah.
Sophie, when you lived in America, did you attend sleepaway camp?
Of course. Yeah, I went to Camp Mountain High.
Okay. And is that in San Diego or is
That's
that
like it's in Big Bear. So it's like an 1.5, 2-hour drive in the mountains, I think. But so fun. Went there my entire childhood.
Okay. What is your favorite hummus spot in Tel Aviv?
It's hard because I'm more of a falafel girl. But I have good hummus there too. Falafel Gabai. I think I'm saying it wrong. So good. It's off of Bogoshov. Wow, it's like the best, I think.
Okay. And wait, have you been to Abu Hassan in Yafo?
I think so. Yeah, either I did or I was gonna go there and went somewhere else, but probably it sounds like
highly recommend going there.
I'll go with my parents this weekend. They're coming to
go. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
it's literally like right on the port. You know where the flea market is in Yafo, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, it's literally like
there.
You've definitely been
walked
or
by
heard of
it. Yeah.
Very, very, very famous place. Like the most insane falafel I've ever had in my life. Also, like it is.
Okay.
It's crazy. I went there. I think I went there. I was in Israel 2 summers ago, but then like before that, like I went there in like 7th and 8th grade with one of my like distant relatives, and I was like, this is fucking
They
game
ate it
changer.
with the onion, no? Like, I feel like I
Yes.
didn't know that was a
Yes.
thing until I became single and I started meeting Israeli guys, and they were all eating their hummus with onions. I'm like, "This is so weird," but it's, like, a thing. I always thought it was like a pita, like, you have to have, like, a falafel pita situation. They just, like, raw dog it with the onion.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
so
like
rowdy.
not gonna lie, it's like a little disgusting, but
I
like
love onion
the
though, so I don't know why I didn't think of this before.
listen, the onion, it makes your breath smell so bad afterwards. So that's the only thing that sucks. But like, no, like seriously, like the onion, like I don't know, it's really good with pita, with whatever. Like
Yeah,
they put crack in that shit. Like it's so
yeah.
good.
No, the
Definitely,
hummus here
definitely
is
gotta go.
unmatched, yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 18, how good has your Hebrew, or how has your Hebrew improved since moving to Israel?
It's so embarrassing because it's really shit. Um,
Really?
yeah, for being here for almost 4 years, I'm at, like, 2.5, 3 on a good day. It depends on what I'm saying. I'm a waitress, like, part-time, so I can speak, like, fluent, like, "מה את רוצה לשתות?" Like, "What do you wanna drink?" kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Conversational, I will be getting ripped off at the shuck. Like, it's really like, that's on the
Yikes.
scale of where I'm at.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a work in progress for sure.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, listen, like you can learn so easily and just pick up
You'd
on.
think that. I'm, like, so dyslexic. It's so hard for me to, like even English is hard. I'll get there with
Okay.
Hebrew. I wanna raise my family here, so, like, I have to get there with Hebrew, but
There you go.
lahat, lahat, slowly, slowly.
Yeah, exactly. On a scale, or sorry, not on a scale. On average,
Yeah.
how many Arsim do you see riding their motorcycles on the street on a given day in Tel Aviv?
Okay, so pre-war, I was going out on the Tayalet, like, loads, doing, like, very late night runs. Easy,
Okay.
at least 100 on, like, one single run down the Tayalet and back. Now, post not post-war, in the middle of war, I'm not going out as much, so I'd say probably 20, 30, depending on the day. Summer's coming
Hmm.
around, I'm sure I'll see them out a lot more.
Right.
I think they're so jolly. I love RC. I love their music. I love the vibes they bring. I feel like they're a vital part of Tel Aviv culture. Like, without them, who's gonna create loud background music, aside from the construction, of course? Like,
Yep.
I don't know, I really feel like their energy is needed. People shit on them too much. I don't
Okay.
mind an RC as long as they're not, like, whistling at me, like, if they're quiet, it's okay.
You know what? I'll teach their own. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah, you
say.
gotta love
Listen,
everyone.
I honestly, I said this. I had my third episode. I had an Israeli soldier. We were talking about Arsim, and I think they're an essential part of Israeli society.
I agree.
How, yeah, I guess people do
However
shit on
what?
them a little bit too much. However, I mean, like, listen, like they do some questionable
Oh,
things,
for
like
sure.
the cat calling. I was telling a story about how one of them like stole a hat of mine while
Okay, yeah, they're
I was at
rowdy.
yeah, like they don't give a fuck. Like
Yeah.
they literally don't give a
They
flying
need to be
fuck.
put
But
in their
like,
place for sure, but
mhm,
I don't mind them if they're, like, just quiet and just scooting along the Tayalet. I feel kind of, like, watched over in some way, like, it just feels like
yeah,
security, even
yeah,
though
yeah.
maybe they're yeah, whatever. I probably should
Okay.
be a bit more distant with RC.
No, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no, no. RC Merkel, RC Merkel. We love all RC. So, all right, got a hot take for you. Since you've lived in America and now lived in Israel,
Yeah.
Wolt is better than Uber Eats. What do you think of this?
100%. The customer service that Wolt gives, Uber Eats could never. Maybe it's because the customer service in Israel is so shit that, like, that Wolt just feels so, like, luxurious, but, like,
Yep.
any problem you have, they're responding. I use them as my therapist. I'll be having a bad day, and I'll be like, "My Wolt order is late. I'm feeling really sad, da, da, da." They're like, "We're so sorry that you're having a bad day. Please, 50% off your meal for us. Take 60 shekels." As a matter of fact, my friend, her boyfriend broke up with her, like, months ago. So I, like, Wolted sushi to her house, and I put in
Hmm.
the notes to the Wolt guy, like, "Oh, can you say, like, sorry for your breakup, like, blah, blah, blah." Just, like, sending a little heartfelt message. He doesn't even
Right.
speak English. Somehow he managed to, like, one of the words are, "I'm sorry for your breakup. Enjoy." And, like, it was just so cute, and, like, Uber Eats could never. Uber Eats could never.
Oh
Anyway,
my god.
I'm
I
100% a Wolt stan.
I love Wolt too. So I was in Israel 2 summers ago
Mhm.
on Onward, and my program, they gave us like, I don't even know how much it was. It was like a ridiculous amount of Wolt credit. And I just remember like them, first of all, they they going back to this whole like motorcycle on the street thing, like
Yeah.
they are the like most like when I'm walking on the street and
You will
I
get
don't
run
know where
over
like
by it.
boom, like yeah,
They're
like
on a
they
mission. They're on a
yeah,
mission.
I agree with you. The customer service, excellent. Like they're getting their food to you in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, Wolt's great. Uber Eats, kind of shit. Not
I
gonna
never
lie.
used
Like
Uber Eats though growing up because like
you've
no, I never did because I've lived in Israel since I was 18. Growing up, my mom makes the best food. Like I just
valid.
never really needed it. I never did. So that's maybe why my bias with Wolt.
Okay. You know what? Listen, like Uber Eats, not great. Well, I just feel like everything in Israel is better, right? Like
I agree.
the
Mostly.
startup nation makes everything better. I feel like if Wolt were to come to America, like I don't think the Americans can handle it because it's
No,
just like it's
it's
just
too
like it's
high tech.
too
It's too high
yeah,
tech.
yeah. And I actually remember, I don't know if this was Wolt or like another company, but I saw like a robot going like on the street
Yes.
and delivering somebody's food. What's that name of the company?
I don't know because I haven't seen them in forever, but I'd seen it on all my
Okay.
friends' Snapchat stories, and they like a robot like is like walking around. I don't know how that even is a thing. I never actually saw one. No, one time I saw it, but it was I think like a year or two ago, but only
Okay.
very briefly in passing, like across the street. I was like, oh my god, I think that's it. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no,
crazy, crazy shit.
it's so cool. It's
Yeah.
so cool. You see the coolest shit in Israel just because like startup
It's just
nation.
a balagan here. Like
It is.
everyone's like
Li-
everyone that has a dream just makes it happen. Like they literally will
Right.
be like smoking weed on the beach, doing whatever. They think of something and then like poof, the next day it's a thing. Like they're
Yeah.
so creative and they just make stuff happen here. There's room for
Right.
everyone, I feel like.
I feel so.
Yeah.
Going off that question, what's your favorite beach in Israel? Like or in Tel Aviv?
Trumpledore.
Trouble
I
Door?
don't know if I'm a red flag for that, but Trumpledore.
Where's that relative to like I know Gordon Beach. That's like the
So
beach.
it's like 2 or 3 beaches down from Gordon Beach. It's the Fuji Valley Beach. It's where all the guys are playing their soccer. That's why I don't know if it's a red flag for me. I just always go there. My friends play food share. I love to watch them. It's really close to my house. I just like that beach the best. I'm most comfortable there. I sit there by myself and I always leave with like a group of people because I know everyone or it's friends of friends. It's such a big mixing pot. So yeah, that's why it's my favorite.
So Sophie, you grew up in San Diego. I have family there. Amazing place to live. I personally love visiting there. And you literally gave up your life in America to move to Israel. Talk about like why you decided to do that. I feel like that's something, it's either like people are going to the army. I want to hear the details.
Okay.
It's like something like it's like you're either going to the army or like, not I feel like not a lot of people will just like make aliyah.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to do. So talk about your decision behind that.
So that's a loaded question. It starts off, I'll just you can tell me how much detail you want me to go into it.
Go into as much detail as you want.
I could talk about it for 30 minutes or for like 3. So I'll try to do like the 3-minute version.
Perfect.
But yeah, growing up, I had a lot of struggles. School was really difficult for me. It's honestly a miracle I even graduated high school.
Mhm.
I mean, I went to therapeutic boarding school. I feel like that says enough in itself. Now I'm, thank God, so stable, so happy, so content in every aspect of my life. But yeah, high school was a very hard time for me. And my parents were trying to do the best that they could, but like I was just not an easy kid to parent.
Mhm.
So it came time when everyone was applying for colleges, and that was just not a conversation we ever had because the goal was let's just get this girl through high school. So my mom, so supportive, was like, why don't you try going on a gap year? You don't need a rush. And they're very academic people, but they knew that was just not my path yet, and that's
Mhm.
okay. So they kind of pushed me towards going on a gap year. I chose Israel. My mom did it. I'm obviously Jewish, and I just wanted to. Lama lo, why not? Like, I don't know. I had nothing else going for me at home.
Yeah.
So I went on my gap year, Aardvark, Israel. Thank you to them in Masa. Met obviously Danielle, the other girls, and we were in quarantine. It was COVID time. And me being the ADHD crazy girl that I am, I was like, I just need male attention. I can't sit here anymore. I need attention. So I told them, I said, the next like guy that walks by, because we were in Jerusalem, the next guy that walks by that does not look like a rabbi, I'm getting his number. I just needed someone to talk to. I was lonely. I was bored. And the ADHD was just ADHDing. So I went to my balcony. Some random guy walks by. I yelled down, Slicha, what's your number? Get his number. Fall in love with him, fall in love with Israel. moved to Israel for this man. We broke up, but
Oh, okay.
anyway, I'm so grateful for him because he really changed my life. He brought me to Israel. My current roommate, Charlie, she's my bestest friend in the world, a sister to me. She
Hmm.
also really encouraged me after my gap year. Why not? You love your ex-man. You love Israel. Let's just both do it together. So I moved with my best friend to Israel for this man. Stayed together for 2 years. So it's crazy how that worked out. A little balcony, hoot and holler. But it brought me here. So that's why I chose Israel. I just fell in love with the people here, not even outside of the guy. Obviously, I didn't just move for a guy, but like
Hmm.
I really saw Israel as a place where I could just be myself. I met such wonderful down to earth people that were just similar to me, like deep thinking people that also like to have fun and be silly. And it's the best life. Everything goes. There's no right and no wrong. I'm 22. I haven't been to school yet. No one's judging me for that. Like I'm on my own path and everyone's on their own path here. So I feel like this is where I'm meant to be, to answer that question.
This is awesome because, first of all, the whole like shooting your shot shit, like that's what I'm about. Like it is so like
Who
there's
cares? You
forget
know?
about forget about girls or whatever. Like when there is an opportunity in front of me, like career wise, I'm fucking taking it, right? Like
Totally.
that's just like I love that. And also the concept of school, and I think I may have talked about this before, but I'm not an academic person either. Like I'm more of like the creative, like do stuff with my hands kind of person, and I
Yeah.
like connecting with people. I just think that school is so
If you're gonna be a doctor, I want you going to school. I don't want someone giving there's certain things you need school
there you
for, but
go.
yes, for a lot of jobs these
There
days,
you
I
go.
agree. It's overrated. You don't need it. I think it's a scam for a lot of like lines of work. For what I'm doing and for what it sounds like
Right.
you're doing, it's not I mean, you're in school right now, so loser, I think.
Yeah, I am. I am. I am. I'm being a
No,
little
no, no, but
hypocritical,
like,
but like,
yeah, there's a lot of creative jobs out there that, you can't teach creativity. You either have it or you don't.
right, right. No, it's just like I basically have come to the realization that because my degree, what I'm doing like after school, like I'm going into finance, but I'm a marketing major, so it's like nothing really to do with finance, but it's really like you just need a degree in America to like get to the next step, and I just feel like it's such a waste of
Totally.
money, especially if like you don't have the funds to like get to college and you got to take
It's
out student debt.
crazy expensive there.
It's
Yeah, in the US, it's crazy. Here, it's quite cheap, like really cheap actually. But at least compared to America, to me, it feels like it's free. Israelis will also be like, "Oh, it's expensive," but like as an American, it's literally free compared to these $100,000 college just for 1 year. That you have to pay. It's insane.
right. No, it's the
Yeah,
cost of college here is just like out of like just crazy, crazy like
it's
expense.
unaffordable.
Yeah,
Unaffordable.
it
Unaffordable.
is
Unaffordable. I'm educated, but
no, it is really it's just ridiculous. So when you're in Tel Aviv, right?
yeah.
Can people tell that you're American, or do people kind of assume that you're Israeli now that you've been there for 3 years, right?
Yeah, 3.5 years now. Um, so it depends. At the beginning, for sure, everyone thought I was American because also I wear this high.
Okay.
Here, ours seem wear highs.
Okay.
Like it's like a thing. Everyone like because he would talk to me in English. I'm like, how do you know? Like I think I look American, like, but my style has changed to be more Israeli. But also since the war, people have started to wear highs a lot. I've noticed. Like a lot of girls wear really big highs, and that used to be only a man thing to wear.
Mhm.
So I think since October 7th, and people haven't been thinking I'm American as much. I don't know, people have even told me, "Oh, like I thought you were Israeli," which is the biggest compliment ever because I don't feel like I look or act Israeli. But my style, I mean, right now I'm just quite American, but usually I wear very baggy jeans. I'm wearing Birkenstocks right now. I dress pretty Tel Aviv, I guess.
Tel
So
Aviv.
recently, yeah, recently it depends also the people I'm with. If I'm with my American friends, we're allowed. You can tell we're American from a mile away.
Yeah.
And I'm with my other friends. I don't know. It really depends. Really depends.
Okay. Okay. So what was
Yeah.
like your welcome to Israel kind of story? I know you're before we got on this call, you were just saying how like, while we were on this call, you were talking about like how you get ripped off at the shuk and
Yeah.
whatever. Was there like a particular time where you were just like, roaming the streets or whatever, and then something of Israeli balagan happened and you're like, oh yeah, I'm in Israel. Did anything happen like that or
Yeah. I have like, well, one was a very humbling experience. It was on my gap year. This
Okay.
was like before I even considered myself like being part of Israel culture. I'm in a little bubble on my gap year.
Yeah.
But that was my first wake up call. Was I was really sick. I don't know why. I think I had like food poisoning or something. And like no one was there. And I was like calling my Majachim. Aardvark did nothing. Eventually they did, but like no one was there to help me. I was in the worst pain. I thought I had like appendix or something. And I had to like taxi myself to the hospital, and like the guy was like swerving in and out, yelling, "Slicha, move!" Like really like trying to get me there. Also like ripped me off too, even though I was like a little girl in pain. But the whole doctor situation was the biggest balagan, like the biggest mess. And I was like, in America, like my mother would not stand for this. Like she would sue. Like it was so crazy. Also, like I had a stomach thing. They gave me a shot in my butt for my leg, and my leg was never the problem. And I got like a shot in my ass. Like, I felt so violated. It was awful. That was the moment. I don't know if it was like a welcome to Israel, but it was like a wow, like I'm really on my own. Like, like I'm an adult. I'm 18,
Yeah.
which doesn't feel that old, but I was like, okay, like I'm a woman. Like
Right.
this is my womanhood Israel story. I have a lot of crazy Israel stories. Like another one too is some lady on the bus needed help with her, or she didn't even need help, but like I saw she was old. I offered to take her groceries for her, so far from my house, but I got off at the bus stop because like she like beckoned me to come with her. She brought me up to her house and would not let me leave her house until I ate Shabbat dinner with her and her husband. They were like 80 to 90 years old, no English at all. And they were like spoon feeding me food. And I was like, I have a Shabbat meal I need to go to. And they were like, look, sit, you sit, like, chef, like it's, and I was like, okay. And it's like, guys, help. Like, I'm stuck.
That's
um,
I love that. I
yeah,
love that. It's funny. I have a similar story to your doctor visit story. Like I also had I think something about Israel. Like I love the food there, but every time I go, I get sick.
something happens. People don't
Something
wash their
weird.
hands as much as they should.
Oh, okay. That makes
Have you
sense.
seen
But
this country? It's dirty. It's so dirty. I love it, but it's dirty.
yeah. Tel Aviv especially
Yeah.
is people. I feel like people litter all over the place in Tel
Yeah,
Aviv too. Like
unfortunately, there's a lot of trash. Anyway, what happened with your doctor's
yeah. So
visit?
okay, basically, I had this horrible stomach pain. Like I thought like I was dying. And of course, like I not so much with the taxi. Like taxi guy didn't rip me off because my Hebrew's like I say my Hebrew, like I can get around Israel, like no problem. Like people,
Good.
take me seriously. But of all places, right, in near Tel Aviv, the only place that would take me to like help me with my stomach problems was Bnei Brak. And that was like a eye-opening
That's where I
experience.
went.
Oh, you went to Bnei
That's where
Brak
I
also?
went. It
No
was
way.
awful. And I was wearing a tank top and everyone was looking at me and I never felt like I felt like the biggest I felt like the biggest and I was wearing like I think jean shorts as well. I've never felt like a bigger in my life for just existing. It was awful.
Did they throw rocks at you or no?
No, but like everyone was just like, oh, I got stuck in B'nai Brak to another time. It was I was meant to go for a facial somewhere and I ended up in like it was like worse than B'nai Brak. It's like more religious than B'nai Brak. And
Okay.
I had a little skirt on, a little tank top. It was summer, and I made even a TikTok about it because I was like, "This
Okay.
is so embarrassing. I need moral support right now."
It's so funny how like you have Tel Aviv where it's like literally the most like laid
I was wearing a
back,
thong to the
chill.
beach today, and I walked through the shuk with like my literal boobs out. No one thinks anything of it, you know?
Yeah, they don't care. But then Bnei Brak is literally a drive down the road. Like it's right
Totally.
next to Ramat Gan and all those places. And it's just like it's crazy. That's the thing that I love about Israel is like you can go from Yerushalayim, right, which is literally the capital of religions in the world,
Yeah,
right, to Tel Aviv, which
it's
is
so
the
diverse.
it's
Radius,
just
little
crazy.
city.
Crazy. Just it's
Yeah.
crazy. Israel is such like it feels like it's like like Israel doesn't even feel real,
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you feel that still,
I
but it's just
feel like I'm living in like a simulation half the time. I'm just like, it's a fake world. Like, it feels like a fantasy world. Like, it just, it gets social, like, so, I don't know, like, just just things that are socially acceptable are just, it's just different here. It's just
right,
different. Like, they have different standards. It's just a different life.
right.
I don't even know what planet I'm on half the time. I'm like, okay, let's go with the flow.
I I agree. And also one of the things that like I guess like most people don't understand is like even after, pre-October 7th, obviously everybody
Yeah.
was like, partying in the streets, whatever. Post-October 7th, it seems like, as much as like heartbreak and horror and like shit you guys have gone through,
Yeah.
like people are still standing strong and
We're
living their
ranked number
lives.
5. We're ranked number 5 for the
I
happiest,
saw that.
I think is a country or city in the world. I forget which one it was.
Countries.
So crazy because we went through the unthinkable almost 6 months ago. Like, we're still recovering, like, it's like no one's healed. We don't have a choice to even, like, process it all, My friends have literally gone straight from Nova to the front lines to, like, defend our country. We have absolutely no choice. Um, Yet somehow we're still the happiest country because I think we really have to live every day like it's our last because we're surrounded by countries that have wanted us dead since before Israel even existed. And I don't know, I think we just have absolutely no choice. So, yeah, people are still at the beach today. If we still, I mean, Tel Aviv is normal, but it's on the surface. I feel like underneath there's still a lot of pain and suffering, but we have no choice but to put on a smile and I don't know, just live our lives and try and get through this war and
I,
get all of our hostages home.
I
Obviously,
love that. Bring them the fuck home. Bring them the fuck home. Like they need to
totally.
come home. Like
Yeah, it's almost 6 months. I can't even imagine.
it's it's
Yeah,
horrible. And watching from the United States even feels worse. Like I can't even tell you how much like pent up anger I have just like from
yeah.
not being able to literally do anything about it. Like as much as like I can, and I've said this before, as much as you can post on social media, have conversations with people, do all this activism stuff. At the end of the
It
day,
still feels like it's not enough
not
because
enough.
it's just I get
It
it.
really
I
feels like
really
it's not enough. And I just think that like, being in Israel, you can actually do something about it, whether that's
mm.
being in the front lines or, helping out
No,
the
but that's not true though. In the US, like it's that voice really, really matters because people don't know. Like you guys are are the only people we have,
right.
Like we don't have anyone else
Yeah,
except for you guys.
that's
So
great.
it's really so important.
Listen, I hope that like our efforts are helping just because like, again,
It does. It makes the biggest difference.
there's a lot of, obviously being on a college campus, it's very tough right now, but there's a lot of, I can tell you like Maryland, especially like there's a lot of people out here that are very, very pro Israel and doing a lot to help Israel. And, I think really it's so, again, it's just so difficult for me. Cause like, I really, I really can't do much like myself to really help this problem out other than, posting on social media and whatever, but like
Educating people,
educating.
that's really more than enough is to educate because
Right.
that's what created the Holocaust the first time was, all this crazy talk and normalizing Jew hate. I know we're totally off topic.
No, this is good. This is
Like
good.
not the conversation,
This is good.
but they normalized Jew hate and that caused obviously the Holocaust. If
Right.
we start to normalize things like October 7th and justify rape and murder of innocent Jewish people,
Hmm.
we're gonna have another Holocaust one day.
Has your view on living in Israel changed at all post October 7th, or do you feel
Yeah.
like even more strongly connected to living in Israel?
It's changed because I realized we really have nowhere else to go. I grew
Hmm.
up in San Diego, California. Sure, I have there to go, but I will not be sending my children to a Jewish day school where I have to have private security 24/7 because a random mob can go and attack. We're seeing this all over the US. We're seeing it in Canada, all over the world. It's not safe for Jewish babies like to grow up. And I really feel like I really have nowhere else to go. Like this is my home. This is I feel so connected to this land. I've always loved Israel, but like especially now, it's not a love, it's like a need. Like we
Hmm.
need this country and yeah, like we need it. Like I can't imagine a world without Israel. I can't imagine my life and my future babies' lives without Israel. Like I want to have Israeli family. I want to marry an Israeli man. If you know anyone, hit
I got you.
me
I got you.
up. um, I like this is my place to be for
I
sure.
love that because Israel is such a strong, like, strongly rooted. Like, it's just such a, again, like going back to this topic, like it literally it feels like a fictional place in the world. Like us Jews
Mhm.
we shouldn't be around right now from for everything that's happened to us. Like
It's
It
a
is.
miracle that, like, you and I are alive doing a
Yes.
podcast after everything our ancestors have
Yes.
been through. It's, like, really a
Yes. Yes. I
miracle.
mean, especially you. Like, what was October 7th like for you, if you don't mind like sharing that experience?
Yeah, I was actually with Danielle
Okay.
Oates. I was in her house. Thank God I went to go visit my friends in the US on October 2nd. But wow, it was the worst day of my life. I really thought everyone was gone. I haven't really thought about it since because like I just have tried to block. I've become, I guess, very Israeli with my emotions. I used to share everything. Now I kind of block it out and try
Yeah.
and keep moving forward. But like wow, it was the worst day of my life. I remember opening up my WhatsApp. It was 3 a.m. New Jersey time. And just all my friends are blowing up my group chat. Are you okay? Are you alive? I it was just you would not I can't even imagine the messages. It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
real life. Yeah, talking about it, I don't even know how to talk about it. And I wasn't even physically there, but that day I really thought I was gonna lose everyone close to me. I texted every single one of any Israeli, even, like, the guys I matched with on Hinge, like, a year ago. I just to be like, "Are you alive?" Like, I really thought the whole world
Mhm.
blew up, and yeah, I thank God didn't lose anyone that was, like, directly close to me, but I recognize so many people that were lost that day, people that I was a waitress for, they were my waiter, people I saw at the beach all the time, friends of friends. It was just an awful day, and I just felt so helpless, and then just so frustrating to be in the US for the next 2 months, because obviously my parents were gonna let me go home in the middle of the war, and it was just miserable seeing all the propaganda, and I was like, "Do they not know? Well, how about October 7th? Like, why on Octo people celebrating people celebrating my friends that were beheaded, not my friends, my friends' friends that were beheaded, people celebrating my friends' friends that were, like, raped, that were hostages, and that are still hostages, actually, they haven't come out yet, Yosef, and people are celebrating this on October 8th, and that just, like I just wanted to go back to Israel so bad and be with my people.
Like, I just can't imagine, like, obviously I have a very strong connection to the land of Israel and love Israel, but like when you've lived there for 3.5 years and you moved away from America and this is like something new to you, like I just can't imagine like you're in America while this is happening and all this shit's going on. And again, like you said, like you felt so
Yeah.
helpless. Like that must have been incredibly hard for you to deal with. And post October 7th, like I just can't like physically imagine like having to
Yeah.
go through
I
that.
mean, I'm sure you went through it in some other way as well. You were also in the US seeing everything go on, seeing people celebrate in the streets, are people being, like, just decapitated. It's awful and burned alive. It's the worst thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just and like it's so it's especially hard for me because I so my grandparents grew up in
Uh-huh.
Lebanon and Syria, and so they were persecuted from Lebanon when in 67. And it's just, again, it's so frustrating because people are like saying like, oh, Jews aren't indigenous to Israel. Jews, like, we're doing this ethnic cleansing
We're
and
all white
apartheid and all this,
people
all
and
this stuff.
all this bull
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, okay, if my grandparents can't live in Syria and Lebanon, where they were kicked out for being Jewish, why can't Israel exist? Like, tell me why can't Israel exist? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, people are just using Israel as an excuse to be anti-Semitic.
Because news spreads so fast and people just reshare, like, people saying that the IDF went in and raped and killed Palestinian women. Like, absolutely not. It was even proven that, like, that person just fabricated that story, made it up just to cause anger and whatever, whereas we have literal proof of what happened to our people, and people are like, "Where's the proof? Where's the proof?" It was GoPro'd by
Mm-hmm.
Hamas militants. Oh my god, I've been reading too much of the other Hamas terrorists, not militants. I was just reading an article before this that referred to them as militants, and that was stuck in my head.
Oh my God. Were you reading Al
Absolutely
Jazeera?
no, oh, maybe it was
Okay.
like a screenshot of something that I was just like,
Okay.
"What the fuck is that?" Not a militant. Terrorists, sorry. Monsters, I should say. GoPro by them. We've obviously captured them, interviewed them, and they're admitting to everything that they've done. Women coming forward that were, hostages saying what they went through, the brutal rape and captivity, and people are like, "Where's the proof? Where's the proof?" But, oh, some random person made up this story about Israeli soldiers raping and killing women. Oh, we're gonna believe it and spread it to the world. Like it's just, it does not add up. Like it's so biased. It's so biased. Anyway,
It
what
is.
can you do?
It's. I know, and I think really the sad reality is that like Israelis, Palestinians, they're very similar in their
Mhm.
mannerisms. I would like to believe that there are some Palestinians out there that want
There are.
peace
I'm
and
friend.
that
I live in
want.
that. Like in the shuk, I'm friends with. Literally, I walked the shuk. These are my brothers. We tag. They say Shabbat Shalom to me every single Friday. Even if I'm walking by and like forget to say hi for some reason, they'll like yell, "Sophie, Sophie, Shabbat Shalom." Like we live in peace. There are just, unfortunately, a lot of extremists, and America also for some reason is following these extremist ways. The people that live in this country do not like want this to be our reality. We want to live in peace. And like I don't think I speak for everyone, but I would hope I speak for the majority of at least my Palestinian friends. They have love and care and respect for me. I have love and care and respect for them. If anything bad were to happen to me, I think and hope that they have my back, vice versa. But it's just, it's the extremists that are the problems on both sides. I know there are also extremist Israelis, but this is, we don't rape and behead and burn people alive.
Yeah, and it's horrible. It's horrible. So talking about social media and extremists, and obviously they're extremists on both sides. You have
Mhm.
have started a TikTok account called American in Israel,
Yes.
which is blown up. You've posted amazing Israeli content, and it's good. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
You get a little laughs in there, some Israel activism, etc. Listeners, if you haven't checked it out, definitely do that. But to talk about like what made you start that account, I just feel like that's something. And when we were talking before, like on our phone call, like you were saying how there are so many people like you that are, living in Israel, living their lives, having a good time, but they're not sharing their story. Talk about like what motivated you to like share your story and kind of like capture this audience of like people that are Israelis, Americans, Jews, whatever. And you're able to like really show them what living in Israel is like as an American.
Yeah, so I started it on my gap year. I'd always post on Instagram just cool trips I went on. People would always ask me about like where to go horseback riding, where to go on a cool boat day, all these things. And I've always loved videos and making cool content. So I was like, why not make this into TikToks and like just for fun, didn't think anything of it. I didn't even show my face at the beginning. It was just called American in Israel, just showing like honestly just gap year kids like where to go. It was at the very end of my gap year. And my first video got a lot of views and likes. And then the first video I showed of my face got even more views and likes. And people seemed to be interested in my life and how I am and how I ended up here. And I don't know, it's just there weren't any other English speakers in Israel doing what I was doing. We had food reviews, and I'm good friends with all the girls that do the food reviews. We love them, we need them, but we didn't have anyone really showing what is daily life like. Like, how do you survive in the Middle East alone? But yeah, I started vlogging, making funny videos. For me, authenticity is really important. I'll never post something that is, I don't know, like I post for myself, and it's cool if people watch it, but I'm always posting for myself, and I think that's kind of how it's grown. I think, and I hope that people can see that. But yeah, Israelis got interested in it recently. Before, I think it was like mostly Olim, like tourists watching my stuff. But that's how it started.
I love that. I love that. And I think authenticity, and we talk about, the whole point of this podcast is about personal brand. I think authenticity is the most important part of personal branding, especially when it comes to social media. I think a lot of people on social media are showing, talk about like making up fake stories. Like there are so many people out there making up this bullshit about, whether it's about their personal lives or about, the whole conflict. It's their social media is a great tool in the sense that like you can reach a lot of people, but it's so easy to like bullshit your way through things. And I think really the people that do the best on social media and that are able to like communicate their personal brands on social media the best is through authenticity, right? So talk about like some of the things, what are some of the things that you do to kind of show people your like the authentic side of yourself? Like, do you think like vulnerability is a part of it? Like what part of the authenticity do you show through your TikTok and other social media channels?
So I'm not the best at being emotional online. I think, and am a really emotional person, but I think even with October 7th stuff, I've only made like 1 or 2 emotional videos. Because one, I just feel embarrassed to like be showing, like I don't need the whole world to know exactly how I feel every second of the day.
Right.
And number two, I don't want it to come off as like crying for help or victimizing, even though like obviously our country is like the victims of October 7th. And I obviously feel sad at times, but I think the way that I do show authenticity is like I think I wear my hair in a messy bun. I'm just myself. I wake up, I'll talk about my day, I'll talk about struggles of living here, and I'll laugh at things. Like I'm just a very happy, positive person. And yeah, like does that answer your question? I don't know. I'm happy to expand upon
Yeah,
that. But I feel like yeah, just so authenticity is I just show myself in my life. I have nothing to hide. And yeah, like you'll see
that's
my
great.
messy room probably in today's vlog that I'm posting. It's awful, but like that's my life, not perfect. um, but yeah, I'm just like a regular person posting, and I I think people can just see that. And I'm not ever trying to be famous either. That's like I'm
Mhm.
never trying to become. I like calling me influencer too. Like I know I technically am now, I guess, but like I don't even think of myself as that. I just am a person posting. I'm a waitress. I'm just a person, But people have enjoyed, I guess, following this person
For
because
sure.
it's just like them. I'm the same as everyone else here. That's an Olim.
I love that. I love that. So you've gotten to do a lot of really cool things. I saw like you went to like a 76ers game and you went to the Israel rally and all these really cool
Yeah.
things through being an influencer. I know you just mentioned like, you're not,
Well, the
you
Israel
don't,
rally, that was through a Bumble date. That
okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. But
But the other stuff, yeah, that was like, I guess, being influencer, which is cool.
so again, like you don't want to be like this famous influencer person, but again,
Yeah.
with that kind of following, you get all these opportunities to, meet really cool people, go to really cool things, etc. So what's like the most memorable experience you've had as being an influencer? Like what's like the coolest thing? And I know this is a very like vague, broad, general question.
Yeah.
What's like the coolest thing you got to do because of your status as an influencer?
Um, so there's a few. One, it's not cool. It was I went to see all the stuff on October 7th. And that was just like, wow, I felt very lucky that I was invited into these people's homes that were burned and everything. But yeah, kind of disassociated that day. So like I have all the video stuff. I have yet to even look at it. That was something where I was like, wow, I can't believe like that I'm being chosen to view these people's homes that are no longer alive. But on a positive note, a really cool thing, just the restaurants. I think it's so cool when a restaurant will be like, come and eat for free, bring your friends and make a TikTok. And I'm like, what is my life? Like, I feel so lucky that I can like eat a whole bunch of sushi with my friends
Yeah.
and be like, sugar mama, it's on me, guys. And all I have to do is just like be happy as I already am and like make a video. And this past weekend, I started a thing called Hot Girls Do Shabbat. We can talk about that later if you want. But
Yep. Yep.
I was able to do a nonprofit event where all these girls came. We made jeans with like Israel flags and Jewish stars and everything. And I was able to use a beautiful rooftop called Speakeasy in the middle of Rothschild for free because of being an influencer. I went and I was able to make a video for them the night before. Got a little bit too drunk, was hungover at the event, but I was able to go, made a TikTok, and they gave us our entire roof for the afternoon. And that was a moment where I was like, wow, like I just feel so grateful and so lucky. Like that's so cool. Like that's so sick. So yeah.
So let's talk about Hot Girls Do Shabbat, which is initially why the reason I reached out to you. I think such a cool concept. Talk about what that is and kind of like the mission behind that.
Yeah. So I started Hot Girls Do Shabbat for various reasons. I spent many Shabbats alone when I first moved to Israel, especially when I became single. I was like, where do I go? How do I find my people? And I love Shabbat dinners. I love hosting people. Every week I'll do Shabbat with my friends. I've really fell in love with Judaism and our culture since being here. So I decided to start something called Hot Girls Do Shabbat because it's cool to do Shabbat. It's cool to light your candles. Like these are cool things I never really felt when I was growing up at home. I was so embarrassed to be Jewish. So that's the name of it. That's why I decided to do the name. It's not a physical thing. It's an energy. It's a confidence. It's a vibe, like it's purely what's on the inside, which is like a hot energy. And Yeah, there's nothing like that in Israel. I've realized they have other stuff like bringing people together, boys, girls, whatever, but like they don't have something for like cool, nice girls. I just want to hang out, do cool activities, something that like is classy, cool vibes. And that's why I decided to start this just a few months ago.
I love that. So what kind of I know you mentioned like doing Shabbat dinners, whatever. What other activities are you guys doing with Hot Girls Do Shabbat? Like this is, first of all, this is a great kind of like communal kind of thing where
Yeah.
it's like, part of a movement. And I think, being in Israel enhances obviously your Jewish identity a lot more, because it's like, oh, everybody's doing it. Here in America, it's like, you feel like kind of like an outlier,
Hmm.
and it's like, oh, it's kind of weird to be Jewish.
Yeah.
So with, again, like, whatever, I went on a little tangent again, but like, what activities are you guys doing to kind of help other, people enhance their Jewish identity?
So we'll start it off. It wasn't like a Jewish thing, but we did our first event was a hot girl walk on the Tayalet. That's like the boardwalk on the beach. Really beautiful outside.
Yep.
We had a big picnic bagel spread from Cafe Zoho. That's the place I work at. So really yummy bagels. So fun. Then our next event we did challah making. My friend Tila has this incredible challah business. So we all made challah together. So cute, had some coffee, all bonded. And then our last event, it was we've only had 3 events so far, but our first Shabbat dinner is coming up soon. So that's very exciting. But our last event, we made like Jewish pride jeans, basically like Jewish stars, Israel flags on a cool pair of jeans from Costa 26. I collaborated with them. And all the money went to Brothers for Life, which is a nonprofit to help soldiers that need rehabilitation during this time, because they've put their lives on the front lines for us, like rehab, PTSD, surgery, everything. So those are the 3 events we've had so far. But I just want to make Judaism cool, girls to feel confident. Also about coming here. No one really talks about how lonely it is. And I think people feel embarrassed. But like, I hope that people can hear, like, from me, someone that I think people perceive me as confident. Like, I struggled a lot when I first moved here. I spent many nights alone crying. And my New Year's resolution 2 years ago was I just want to meet people. I just want to have friends. And which sounds so like loser like, but like I think a lot of people can relate to that. And here is a place where girls can come knowing you come and these are a bunch of girls just like you that just want to make friends that moved here or are Israeli. We had a lot of Israelis at our events as well because it's fun and cool to vibe together. We don't really need men, except for the cleanup crew. I told my friends they can clean if they want to, but it's for the girls. And I think it's really important that we have this community together of
I
like
love that.
womanhood. Not to be overly feminist, but
No, 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 no,
I
no.
think
This
it's
is
important that like we need girls and then come the boys.
wow, wow. I see how it is. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, that's
Well, I want to do matchmaking now at some point. I really want to find a guy. So like maybe I'll do a Shabbat dinner
you
soon
could
with
do.
everyone. I'll like
I feel
handpick
like
the
you could
guys.
do like it would be really fun to do like a what's it called, like a matchmaking Shabbat dinner with like you
Totally.
bring a bunch of like girls, and maybe you do like I
Eligible
was literally just gonna
bachelors.
say no, I was literally just gonna say like you could do like a bachelor for like Hot Girls Do Shabbat, and like have like one
Yeah.
guy be there or whatever, and like yes.
No, he doesn't get that much validation. That's too much of an ego boost. We can't do that to anyone. The Israeli men, if you know their egos, oh my God, putting an Israeli guy in a room full of girls being like, you're the chosen one. Absolutely not. You will never catch me boosting someone's ego to that point. No. No, no, no. If anything, it'll be a bunch of guys and like one girl. It's like, congrats, queen. Like, you're the chosen one.
So, Sophie, final question for you. Amazing conversation, by the way. And I think you have a very strong personal brand, very unique, very unlike my other guests. And I think the really cool thing about this is like, I'm bringing on people that are all Jewish, mostly from America, Israel, America, whatever. And, you think all Jews are the same, but like, we have our own stories. We have our own personal brands. We have our own things that we're doing. And I just think highlighting it is so cool. And, you're doing a lot of amazing things with Hot Girls Do Shabbat, your social media presence. What's kind of like, again, you don't have to have a clear picture for this, but what's kind of like your future goal with everything that you're doing? Like, are you going to try and start, a nonprofit business with, Hot Girls Do Shabbat? I mean, you said you're collaborating with a couple other nonprofits. So it's like, do you have like a clear goal and mission in mind? Are you or are you kind of living life and just being like, okay, if something comes, like I'll take it?
Mix of both. I'm very much like whatever happens, happens, go with the flow. I'm just not stressed. That's why I live here. I don't want to be stressed. Today I did my work from the beach today. Like I'm just a very like I want to just enjoy every bit of life I can have. But
Mhm.
also I really see a future with Hot Girls Do Shabbat. And the worst of social media, if that becomes a proper, I mean, I guess it already is a thing-ish, but if it becomes like a proper thing, like where I get like big or whatever, great. If not, great. I'm not trying to become anyone that I'm not. I'm just gonna keep doing how I am. And if people want to follow, cool. If not, like also cool. Hot Girls Do Shabbat. I
Right.
really want that to become international one day. I think it's really important that we bring something like this to California, to New York, to Miami, to places where there's like post high school, post college, especially like after Chabad's and stuff. Like, where do you guys go? Like, where do people go to connect and meet? Like, especially like girls, like to have like girl Jewish friends, I think is so important. And it helps strengthen our identities. So I'm really hoping for one day for this to grow and to become a proper thing where like even in the UK we have Hot Girls Do Shabbat, London, Hot Girls Do Shabbat. I almost said Tokyo, but like I don't know if there's that many streets in Tokyo, but maybe why not Tokyo? Just everywhere. I want this to be a thing everywhere. I want to make cool merch too, like little sweats. I think that'd be kind of comfy. And it's just
Yep.
like it's cool to be Jewish, and I want that to be spread everywhere.
It is. It
Yeah.
is really cool to be Jewish. Like being
It's rare. It's so rare. We're like so like niche. It's
point
so cool.
point 2% of the population.
Yeah.
0.2%. I almost named my podcast point Jew percent, but I thought that was like too corny because like it's just like well, but no, seriously, like we have such a unique story. All of us, all Jews, we have such a unique story, and I think Sophie really is doing a good job of leveraging her story and taking it upon herself to make Hot Girls Do Shabbat and all these really cool things. And obviously, this is going to continue to grow. You're gonna have success with this, like I can guarantee you.
Thank
Like
you. I
if
hope.
you
We'll
listen,
see.
I'm a guy like I thought this was a cool idea. Like maybe
Thank you. It's
maybe
very validating.
listen, maybe I'll copy you and do a Hot Guys Do Shabbat.
You're like the 20th guy to say that. Like, so good luck. You ought to hop on now with the
Okay.
trademarking.
Okay. There we go. Sophie, before I let you go, where can people find you on social media, wherever, just if they want to reach out and view your content?
Totally. So on Instagram, it's Sophie.Harris, but with two I's. All the other Sophies were taken. So SOPHIIE.Harris. And on TikTok, also Instagram, sorry, Hot Girls Do Shabbat, all one word, Hot Girls Do Shabbat. It's in my bio as well. TikTok, American in Israel. I think that's it. That's all my social medias. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Great. Well, Sophie, thank you. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Make sure to follow Sophie on her social medias. I'll make sure to, tag her in the highlights and stuff. So go follow her. Great content. Hot Girls Do Shabbat. Like, hop on the bandwagon now. Like, guys, like
If you're coming to Israel over summer, just like join our Shabbat dinners. Just even if you're here for a week, like just come. Like, why not? We're gonna do bike rides. We do all kinds of stuff. We do sunset walks, swims, camping trips, you name it, volunteering, everything. Like it's just a large play date basically for everyone.
I love that. So if you're onward Israel or onward birthright, any of that stuff, going to Israel for fun, like seriously, go hit up Sophie. Like she'll give you Shabbat dinner and it'll be a good time.
Or if you're a small business too and you're coming to Israel for the summer, come, we'll collab, we'll do something cool to help you out, and you can bring something cool to the table for us. So let's collab.
Go help Sophie out. In addition to following Sophie, make sure you're following Schmoozing Time on Instagram, TikTok, now a Facebook page. So make sure you follow all that. Subscribe, follow the show so that we can continue to grow. Until next time, keep schmoozing.